négocier le stop à gauche, on va voir le deuxième temps intermédiaire, je vous rappelle si ça s'affiche vert, il est en avant.
Hello everyone, welcome to the ECA Canoe Slalom European Championships live stream. Taking place here at Vaires-sur-Marne. We have our first team event starting in 2 minutes. Starting off with the kayak women. Good atmosphere here on the riverbank. Lots in the crowd. Expecting a good race today. There we have our start order, starting with this Italian team and finishing off with the reigning European champions, Slovenia. So we have a DNS for the Italian team. I'm not sure why. I saw them a moment ago on the start line. Maybe something happened up there. I don't have any information on that at the moment, unfortunately. So we'll be starting with Germany in around 2 minutes. I saw them at the start line as well. Unfortunately, we don't have any more information on the DNS from the Italian team. Stephanie Horn, the lead paddler in the Italian team, just walked past our tent in full kit, so it looked like they expected to do their run, but we're not sure what's happened there. Anyway, here we have the German team lining up. And here we go at the start of this team event. At the front there we have Ricarda Funk, the very experienced many-time Olympian. In second place we have Emily Apple, and at the back we have Polina Pirro. The crowd's certainly getting excited by this first section of this German team. Looking very smooth so far. Oh, unfortunately a touch on gate 2. That didn't show up on the live stream. Let's see if they can absorb that time. Ricarda Funk at the front here has pulled a gap. She might be able to exit this upstream before her compatriot. Not quite. Another touch on gate. Oh no, it's gone away. Quite a lot of space between the German boats here, indicating not the tightest run, but not too many penalties and no big mistakes. This will be a good time on the scoreboard here from the Germans. Going into the last tricky crossover section with these double upstream gates. Everything looks smooth. Emily Apple giving Polina Pirro lots of space here. Squeezes off the pole and towards the finish line. In time around 100 seconds. 102.85, and the benchmark is down for all the other teams to compete against. Looked a pretty successful run from the Germans there. As I said, no big mistakes, not too many penalties, so might be a tricky one to beat for the rest of the teams coming down here. And next on the start line here we have the team from Slovakia. This team comprised of Zuzana Pankova, Emanuela Luknarova and Sonia Stanovska. At the front we have Zuzana Pankova leading us away. Was just at the Paris Olympics last summer, I think in the C1 event. This team missing out on their usual paddler, Eliska Mintalova. Some early touches here for the Slovakian team. They're going to have to really pick up the speed in order to challenge that time from the Germans. The transitions are clean, however, despite the penalties. And here you have Zuzana Pankova, who's pulled quite a gap ahead of Sonia Stanovska. And she might be able to leave this upstream before her. Yes, she does. So Zuzana Pankova is now on an individual run, and it's only Sonia Stanovska and Luknarova who have to do the crossovers now. This could pick up the time at the back here, but 3 touches is going to be very hard to absorb. Sonia Stanovska's closed the gap a little here to Zuzana Pankova, and she's back involved with the crossovers. Just one more upstream to go here for the Slovakian team, but it doesn't look like the time will challenge that of the Germans. And that touch on gate 1 has been turned into a 50-second penalty now for the Slovakians. I think for deliberate displacement from Emanuela Luknarova, and unfortunately that will mean no medals for the Slovakian kayak women team today. And on the start line here, we have the team from Poland. Paris 2024 Olympian Klaudia Zwolinska in between the start blocks, leading this Polish team, with young paddlers Dominika Breszka and Hanna Danek following her. I believe this is one of Hanna Danek's first years on the senior team, so hopefully she deals with the extra pressure of the senior start line well here. And away we go. Klaudia Zwolinska, the experienced paddler, leading the two younger ones, who are medalists both at junior level. So they're very good paddlers in their own right. And it looks to be the first clean start we've had here, and it shows on the time with a 1.78 second advantage. Oh, and just as I say that, unfortunately Danek touches gate 8 with her bow there, it looked. There's Zwolinska showing her class, getting away quickly from gate 7. Very nice upstream on gate 10 here, and Zwolinska is able to get away from Dominika Breszka as she pulls into gate 10. So, Breszka and Danek, the only two involved in the changeovers now, it seems. As I mentioned before, this could speed up the process for the team. This could increase their chance of challenging that German time. Let's see how they're looking on the split here. Just looking a little bit down. Only 1.35 seconds, though. That can be recovered on this double upstream section, especially with only two paddlers changing over here. This could be a very competitive time. Oh, unfortunately a touch again on a left upstream from the paddler at the back, Danek. And I think that might just push them outside the Germans' time. It's 3.31 seconds away from the Germans there, so I think that might struggle to challenge for a medal. But currently, second position, silver medal position, with 5 teams to go. And lining up here, we have the team from Great Britain, led by Kimberly Woods, with Lois Lever and Nikita Setchel following close behind. This is Nikita Setchel's debut year on the senior team. She'll be at the back following down Lois Lever, who's in her second year as senior team, starting to gain more experience at the senior level now, with Kimberly Woods at the front, the Olympic bronze medalist on this course just last summer. Expect a fast time from these three girls here. Very nice opening section here from these three girls. This is a good start. Oh, but gate 4 is swinging. Hopefully just a 2-second time penalty there for the team from Great Britain, as they're almost 3 seconds up, so easily able to absorb that touch. The Olympic bronze medalist Kimberly Woods pulling away from Lois Lever. We expect a gap to open up in this middle section. And the crowd is really starting to heat up as this British team flies down the course, very in touch with the time from the Germans, and there's some smooth transitions coming here. They need to stay clean on this bottom section, and this time will challenge. taking a very safe route on gate 13 to stay clean here, the British team. Very smart paddling. And they're 1.79 seconds up. Their smart paddling showing in the time. Nikita Setchel struggling here to get into gate 16, but just about manages it. And it's not looking like it's cost the team too much time at all here. As Nikita tries to get high into gate 18, gets stuck on the stopper a little bit, but this time is going to be really close to that of the Germans at a 1:02. I think this could be around 101 here. And it is 101.22. The British team take the lead by 1.63 seconds. Now that will be very competitive for a medal with just 4 teams still to go. Excellent performance there, led by the Olympic bronze medalist Kimberly Woods, closely followed by under-23 world champion Lois Lever and former junior European champion Nikita Setchel. So lots of pedigree in that British team, and it shows with their result. Just Spain, Czechia, France and Slovenia left to challenge that time of Great Britain. I think we could maybe see a time of under 100 seconds. The British team put down a 99.22. Just that 2-second time penalty taking them over the 100-second mark, so it's certainly possible to see a time fall under 100 seconds. I think if we do, could be the gold medal time. Anyway, we have the team from Spain now lining up. Mylan Chirot, the very, very experienced multiple Olympic medalist, followed by Laios Uribes and Leia Goni. I believe at the front here we have Laios Uribes, and we have the experienced paddler Mylan Chirot at the back of this team. So they've put their experienced years at the back, and unfortunately it's not paying off. We've got a change of order here as Laios Uribes missed gate 2. She's going back for it, however, and now she is at the back of the team. So we have Leia Goni at the front of the Spanish team now after an unexpected change at gate 2. And that unexpected change just reflecting in the time, 3.56 seconds down, and the British team had a touch in that split as well. So almost 5 seconds down on raw time. They'll have to do something pretty special here to compete with the British and Germans in the gold and silver medal positions. But you never put it past the team with Mylan Chirot in there. And that gap is closed by 1.5 seconds. As I said, if Mylan Chirot is in the team, anything can happen. This second split will tell us a lot. 1.54 seconds, so they haven't managed to increase their advantage from the last split. However, if they stay on time here, they will go into the silver medal position. A very good performance after this early mistake from the Spanish here. Coming down now, this could be around the 102-second mark, 101. This is going to be tight. And wow, what a performance in that bottom half from the team from Spain. 0.72 in the lead with an unexpected changeover at the start. It just shows how important it is to stay clean on this course. Very, very composed performance. Only 3 teams left now that can challenge that from Spain. Very tight team racing at the start of this European Championships. Now the team from Czechia at the front, I think I see Antony Galaskova, who will be followed by Gabriela Sapkova and Lucy Neznidalova. Galaskova, an Olympian here at the 2024 Paris Games. She certainly knows how to do a run on this course, lots of experience here. Same with Gabriela Satkova, she competed in the C1 event. So we have 2 Paris Olympians on the same team here, so you can expect a very competitive performance from this team from Czechia. And this first split showing an advantage of 4 seconds, bearing in mind the Spanish did have a mistake at the top section, so that advantage could drop as the Spanish picked up their speed in the bottom half of this course. Flying through this middle section now, this Czech team. This second split still 2.37 seconds up. It's a very smooth performance so far. As I say that, they've been given a late penalty on gate 2. I personally didn't see it. Clearly the video judges have had a little look and have decided that someone touched a pole up there, which means their advantage closes to only 0.6 seconds. So it'll have to be a special last few gates here to keep up with the Spanish. Remember, this is where the Spanish made their time, was on these moves down the bottom. I don't think, it's hard to say, this is going to be another very close time. And second place for the team from Czechia. So first, second and third is separated by 0.72 seconds. It's one of the tightest team events I think I've personally ever seen for the medals, and we've still got 2 teams to go. Exciting racing at the start of the European Championships. Now, you can probably hear this home crowd starting to get excited. That means it's the French team on their way. Composed of 2024 Paris Olympian Camille Prigent, who looks to be leading them off, closely followed by Eva Pietraka and Emma Vouton. Emma Vouton, a World Cup winner at a senior level from last year and former under-23 world champion, I believe. Eva Pietraka, I believe, is under-23 European champion too, so this team has some serious pedigree. And they're on their home course. And they have an Olympian. So expect something special here to compete with these fast times. Speaking about the fast times, that late touch that was added to Czechia has now been taken away. So Czechia are now leading by 1.64 seconds ahead of Spain, then Great Britain. So the gap at the top has just opened up here as Czechia have now been given a clean run. Anyway, here come the French. And this crowd is getting very loud outside here. The first split will give us an indication of a very quick top section, 1.31 seconds, and another touch on gate 2. That upsets the crowd a little, but it won't upset this team. They're still flying down. Touch on gate 6 as well, though. 2 touches is going to be very hard to absorb with some of these special runs that have been coming down today. Camille Prigent just waiting for Emma Vouton to come down, giving her teammates some space to perform, showing that Olympian experience. Approaching the second split here, or third split, isn't it? That'll give us a strong indication. 0.83 behind, another tight run. Some very exciting racing here, and Pietraka at the back. Mistake on gate 16. I think that could cost the French team a lot here. And it's 50's gone. This is tight. This is very tight. And we've had a capsize at the finish line, and third place, knocking Great Britain away from the medals. We'll have to have a wait to see what the judges say, as I think Pietraka had a pretty big issue on gate 16. I couldn't see if it was just a touch or a 50. We'll see what the judges come back with, but for now, we have Czechia in first place, Spain in second, France in third. Only 2.34 seconds separating first, second and third. And Great Britain have been pipped to that bronze medal position by 0.02 seconds. That is brutal. Oh, and there we go. The French team have been given that 50-second penalty that I thought I saw on that gate 16. So Eva Pietraka, unfortunately her mistake costing the French team a potential medal ahead of this final team Slovenia coming down. Big upsets and change in this first event. So as it stands, Czechia first place, Spain second, 1.64 behind, and Great Britain 2.36 behind Czechia. As the team from Slovenia, the reigning European champions, begin their run. Eva Alina Hosheva at the start, Ida Novak second, and Leah Novak in third. Oh, and a capsize from Leah Novak. That's a pretty terrible start to the run. Leah Novak will go up and fight to get back up for that gate, though I don't think she'll be catching up her Slovenian teammates here. That is a pretty big deficit to overcome. An unfortunate start for the Slovenians here. And 14 seconds down. I don't think they'll be retaining their European title here. That split is incorrect. I believe the third paddler hasn't come down, so they haven't managed to regain a 14-second time deficit there. As much of the stream, they have got some Slovenian fans excited. As we see here, Leah Novak just not quite closing that gap, and a 50-second penalty showing up on gate 8 now as the girls try to push the lines a little bit too much. Not to be today for the Slovenian team, and I can say with pretty strong confidence that the team from Czechia are your new European champions. Gabriela Sakova, Lucy Nesnedalova and Antony Galaskova, European champions here at Vaires-sur-Marne. Silver medal for the team from Spain with the experience of Mylan Shuro, with Laia Sorribes, Leo Goni, an excellent performance from them, given a big mistake at the top, and a bronze medal for the team from Great Britain with Kimberly Woods, Lois Lever and Nikita Setchel. Oh, and look at this. In a unexpected turn of events, we have the Italian team, who I mentioned didn't start at the start of the event, are now at the start blocks, ready to round us off. No one expected this. I have no idea what's happened, but it looks like we'll be seeing a run from the Italians here. The team from Czechia are not European champions yet. Stephanie Horn, Paris 2024 Olympian, lining up, followed by Chiara Sabatini and Lucia Pistone. Let's see if they can upset things with this late run. Chiara Sabatini and Stephanie Horn, two experienced paddlers, followed up by the youngster Lucia Pistone here. And they're up on the first split. This would be some upset. Oh, and a touch on gate 5, unfortunately. I didn't see that. She's pulling away down this back straight section through 8, 9, and 10. She may try to leave gate 10 before Chiara Sabatini here, and she does, which will allow Sabatini and Pistone to complete the team run as a duo, which is usually faster than doing it as a 3. Very competitive so far from this Italian team. This third split will give us a strong indication of where they're going to end up. And they're looking a little bit down. 4 point and a 50-second penalty on gate 12. That's a surprise. If that judging decision remains on the scoreboard, then the late run from Italy will not contend. No, and it's falling apart a little bit here for the Italians. And unfortunately, that run will not contend for a medal as they go into 8th place. Well, an unexpected run from the Italians. And the 50 has come off. Another late change, so they move up to 6th position, but still not contending for a medal. So now I think, finally, I can officially announce that the team from Czechia are the European champions. Spain 2nd and Great Britain 3rd. So a very exciting start to this European Championships here in Vaires-sur-Marne, near Paris in France. It's 2.36 seconds separates the top 3. Great Britain with their bronze medal there, coached by Richard Hounslow, Olympic silver medalist. All that experience in the coaching staff potentially contributing to that bronze medal we see on the scoreboard here today. Lots of Olympic experience across those 3 teams, with Mylan Shiro, Kimberly Woods, Anthony Galiskova, and Gabriela Sakova. There you are, just on screen, you saw those official results. Czechia, European champions, Spain silver, Great Britain, bronze medalists. Now on to the most well-attended category here at the European Championships, men's kayak teams. Starting with the team from Latvia, and then a potentially very competitive team, Germany, going off early here. Rounded off by the reigning European champions, the team from Czechia. Previously comprising of Jakub Krejci, Vit Prindis and Jiri Priskovic. Unfortunately, no Vit Prindis on the team this year. We'll be seeing Jan Barta in that Czech team. Anyway, here we have Latvia looking to throw down a competitive time at the start of this event. Unfortunately, a touch early on for this team from Latvia. I'd say with the pedigree of the other teams coming down, Latvia would have to do something pretty special. So that touch really doesn't help their case. the Latvian paddler at the front here. Chelmins managing to pull away from his Latvian teammates. The team's become a bit spaced out. That's usually a sign that things haven't quite gone to plan for the back two paddlers. And that's what you're seeing here with the number of penalties picked up. I don't think this time will be too high up after the other 14 or so teams come down. Now, the early fast team, the Germans, I think they must have had a 50-second penalty at the previous European Championships. That's why they're starting so early. I should have mentioned the start order is determined by where you finished at the last European Championships. Those are in Tacin, in Slovenia. That German team not doing so well there, but I'd expect a competitive time here. The team of Hannes Aigner, Noah Hegger and Stefan Hengst. Noah Hegger, 2024 Paris Olympian. Hannes Aigner, two-time Olympic medalist from Tokyo and Rio. This team has a lot of experience, a lot of pedigree. I'd expect a higher finish than 14th at this race. And 5.28 seconds up. That split maybe not meaning so much as it's against the team from Latvia. But to the eye, this run looks very smooth so far from the Germans, staying close together as a team with some smooth changeovers. Nearly 10 seconds ahead now of that team from Latvia. Another smooth changeover at gate 12. And Noah Hegg taking a tight line into gate 13. This is going almost perfectly for the Germans here. No mistakes, smooth paddling. This is how you medal at the team event. Exceptional last up from Hannes Aigner as he sprints towards the finish line, and they're going to do a time of 85.89. Bear in mind that is almost 15 seconds faster than the winning kayak women's time. That is an exceptional time from the Germans there. What a great run. No touches, no mistakes. Hannes Aigner very close to Noah Hegger at the end. All signs of a great team run. That 85.89 from the Germans, I expect that to stand up there for a while. Next, we have a team from Portugal. This team comprised of Lucas Jacob, Frederico Alvarenga and João Cunha. I personally know João and Lucas well. Very strong paddlers here. And Frederico on a very similar level to them. All three very good paddlers looking to challenge that fast time from Germany. Gate 4 is swinging, unfortunately. That may come up as a penalty in a moment. Only 0.57 down on raw time to the Germans, which is impressive. And João Cunha just getting a little bit stuck on his way into gate 7 there. He's going to have to pick it up on this back straight section in order to stay competitive. Alvarenga at the front here maybe has the opportunity to pull away, but he decides to wait for Luka Jacob. A wise decision to keep the run together, keep the transitions smooth and as planned. But 2 touches on gates 4 and 7. Unfortunately, I'm just going to push you too far away from that German time. And 7.17 seconds down. So even on raw time, they're 3 seconds away from that German run. This is a very solid performance so far, though, from the Portuguese, barring those touches. João Cunha just not with the smoothest cross into gate 18. As he sprints up to catch up to Lucas Jacob. And not a bad run from the Portuguese there. That German time is going to be incredibly hard to get close to. 10 seconds behind it from the Portuguese, only 6 on raw time though. A good run to start the European Championships off for those Portuguese paddlers in that team. And on the start line we have the team from North Macedonia, comprising of Angel Petrushev, Stefan Rybarski and Christian Smilev. Angel Petrushev with an incredible result last year at the European Championships in Tashkent. He finished 6th, which I believe is the highest finish for a North Macedonian at the European Championships ever, I think. Very impressive performer at the European Championship, so let's see if he carries that on this year in Vaires-sur-Marne. He'll be hoping to show his younger teammates how to perform at a big race like this. And here they go, chasing that wicked time of the Germans. Oh, and an early mistake there from those 2 younger paddlers behind Angel Petrushev. Unfortunately picking up a touch and a time error, and it's showing in that first split. And Rybarski just getting held up on his way into 7, and Smilev just falling off the wave now, just costing them precious time. You got to be flawless to compete with that team of Germany, and this is falling away from the North Macedonians now. Petrushev way out in front. And another touch there on gate 10. Good practice for Petrushev here, just to feel out the course. Get used to it for his individual event tomorrow. As Smilev and Rybarski are just chasing him down here. Strong finish from the North Macedonians here is needed to get that time down. Unfortunately, quite a way off of that German result. Good experience on this European Championships course nonetheless for those 3 paddlers. That which hopefully they can take into their individual events tomorrow. Next we have the kayak men team from Ukraine, led off by Alexander Fodorenko, closely followed by Serhiy Sovko and then Artem Ivchenko. A very young team here from Ukraine, not many senior years under their belt, but hopefully fearless in the way they attack this course. Serhiy Sovko and Alexander Fodorenko, both medalists in the kayak cross event at under 23 and junior level. Hopefully some of that medal experience will help them out in this run here. And Fodorenko being very aggressive from 1 to 2, which they'll have to be to compete with the Germans. Oh, gate 3 and 4 though, both swinging. That looks like 4 seconds in time penalties early on, and a touch on gate 6 here. Just shows you the Ukrainians have tried to be a bit more aggressive, turn up the speed a bit. They've lost the smoothness and starting to pick up some touches now. That's the risk with this team event, because there's 3 of you on the course. It's 2 more people than usual to pick up penalties, and they add up fast. Really fast. Staying clean and doing a more solid run than a real flashy, showy run that you see in the individuals tends to be better. And I think that's showing by how solid the Germans were versus how aggressive this Ukrainian team is being. Oh, and another mistake there on gate 17. These penalties quickly adding up. That will have certainly given the Ukrainian paddlers a taste of what pushing the lines on this course feels like. Hopefully it goes a bit better for their individual events beginning tomorrow. The team from Slovakia now on the start line. Martin Halsin, I believe, is between the blocks. He'll be followed by Olympic silver medalists from Tokyo 2020, Jakub Grigar and Adam Gonzanika. I believe this is one of the more experienced teams on this start line. This team from Slovakia, they will have done a few team events before. I think this senior team has been pretty similar for a few years now, so they know how each other race these events. It's an open course. I'd expect a solid and mature performance here from these Slovakians. Very fast start through those first 2 gates. Heads close to poles. And the first split very close to the Germans, as Jakub Grigar flies in behind Martin Halsin. But Gonzanika just getting a little bit stuck on the way to gate 7. Remember, Gonzanika crossing the finish line is what stops the time here of the Slovakian, so it's important that he's as close to his teammates as possible. As Grigar, very relaxed, comes around gate 10. And Gonzanika looks to catch him up. Grigar showing his class as an Olympic silver medalist. Just giving space to Halsin whilst also allowing Gonzanika to catch up with him. Halsin here doing exactly what he needs to lead this team on. I think this time will be a little bit outside that of the Germans, but it will certainly be closer than anything we've seen so far. and they'll go into the silver medal position. With that solid and mature run that I said we could expect. Oh, unfortunately a touch showing up late on gate 18, the last upstream gate. I'm not sure who touched that, but that could cost them, going from 4 seconds behind to 6 now. It leaves a big gap for the remaining 8 teams to go into. And I expect that silver medal position could topple before the end of this event. Now, the team from Great Britain, my teammates here at this race. 2016 Olympic champion Joe Clark sits between the start blocks, flanked by current under-23 European champion Ben Haylett and Johnny Dixon, who is World Cup silver medalist at this course in 2023. A lot of pedigree on this British senior team. Johnny Dixon and Ben Haylett were teammates with me to win the European Championships last year, so they know how to do a team run. I believe the first one they're doing together as a 3 is here at this race. So let's see how it goes. Let's see if they've worked each other out. Expect a fast, aggressive start here from Joe Clark, followed by a lot of power from Ben Haylett and a bit of finesse at the end from Johnny Dixon. Joe Clark giving Ben Haylett a great platform to push through gate 6. Unfortunately 2 seconds down on the first split to the Germans, but I feel that could fall away as Joe Clark pulls out ahead of Ben Haylett. A very smart move to give Ben time to perform. And Ben and Johnny now have a potential to take advantage of that space that Joe Clark has left for them. And Joe Clark pulls away once again, showing some class here to give his teammates an area to perform. As that deficit closes to 1.38, Joe Clark's decision to pull away showing is a very wise one. And Joe now just has to float through these last few gates as it's all on Ben and Johnny to bring that time down. They need to pick up the speed here, 2.24 seconds away. Johnny Dixon staying as tight to Ben Haylett as he can. Very nice gate 17. Johnny's good at this cross here as he gets his bow up. The same move it was in the World Cup that Johnny get a medal at, and this will be very close to the Germans, just behind. And it's 2.44 seconds behind. Remember, that run from the Germans was exceptional, so that could compete for a medal. It was a solid run from the team from Great Britain. Joe Clark gave Ben and Johnny some space. That'll be very close to a medal. But the women's event was tight. The men's event, I'd expect the same. And there's still many strong nations to come down here, including the reigning European champions Czechia and the home team France. And next is the Italian team, who in their team have Giovanni De Gennaro, the current Olympic champion from this course in the summer, with former junior world champion Xabi Ferrazzi leading them off. And senior world championship medalist Marcello Beda, I believe, starting from second position here. It is confusing, however, as due to Giovanni De Gennaro winning the European Championships last year, we have 4 Italians racing the individual event. They were granted an extra entry because Giovanni won. So I'm not sure which 3 they've chosen to race their team event, but it does look like it's Marcello Beda, Giovanni De Gennaro, and Xabi Ferrazzi. Xabi with a very smooth, very nippy style, followed by 2 more powerful paddlers, Giovanni and Marcello. And Beda just falling off the wave a little bit into 7. That'll cost them some precious time, as Beda needs to pick up the speed here to stay on the tail of Giovanni De Gennaro. And it looks like they have 3 touches already, which, as you're seeing in the split, is just going to cost them loads. Touches do add up in this team event, and it makes a big difference to those end results. And Beda just struggling with gate 17 there. Remember, he's the one who stops the time for the Italian, so it's important that he gets to gate 18 as fast as possible. But those touches and that time error at the end just costing the Italians too much here. 10 seconds in penalties, and they're 17 seconds off the lead. So still, Germany 1, Great Britain 2, and Slovakia 3. With Spain, Slovenia, Switzerland, Poland, France, Austria, and Czechia to go. All strong European nations there. With Spain next. The Spanish team containing Olympic bronze medalist Pau Echeniz. Very successful young paddler. He's got his 2 older teammates, David Lorente and Miguel Trave, both medalists at many events. I believe Lorente has a Senior World Championships medal to his name. Trave, an Olympian in the C1 event here in the summer. Lots of experience and pedigree in the Spanish team. Trave at the back here looking very composed, just picking his places behind Olympic bronze medalist Pau Echeniz, as Pau makes some space for Trave to do the upstream in. David Llorente, not quite as quick as maybe he'd like to be in gate 7. Pau Echeniz just had to slow down a little. But importantly, Miguel Trave at the end here is being allowed a very strong platform to perform. As David Llorente pulls away from Pau Echeniz, Pau managing to deal with the unexpected change that Llorente's decided to take there. And this is very close from the Spanish here. Miguel Trave, importantly, very close behind Pau Echeniz, who's putting another good rundown on this Olympic course. They're coming in. This is going to be very competitive against Germany and Great Britain. And Trave finishes the time and second place, 1.51 seconds behind the team of Germany, pushes Great Britain down to 3rd. These times are getting very tight now. Still with 6 teams to go. Just spoken to Ben Haylett of the British team there. Said at the start he didn't quite expect his teammates to be pulling away so quickly off the start line. He said that he felt there was a gap to close and It never really got closed. That could explain that 2.44 second time deficit to the time of the Germans. Anyway, at the start line here we have the team from Slovenia. At the front here we have Peter Kauza, arguably one of the greatest of all time in men's kayak and canoe slalom. He's an Olympic medalist, he's a world champion. Followed by Zigalin Hocheva and I believe Martin Srabotnik. Martin Srabotnik, been off the senior team for 2 years now, I think. But he is an exceptional paddler, formerly world number 4, I think. And Zigalin Hocheva, junior world champion. One of the best talents in canoe slalom. So the Slovenian team can certainly challenge the Germans. And as you see, Zigalin Hocheva very close behind Martin Srabotnik. That's as they'd want it to be. And only 0.94 behind as Zigalin struggles to get into gate 10 because his teammates didn't give him too much space. And a touch on gate 10, it's hard to see. But that touch is going to be very costly when only 2 seconds separates the top 3. Just not quite from the teams from Slovenia there. As I said, picking up a touch, just pushing them from only being 0.03 seconds behind the team from Great Britain to now being 2.03 seconds behind Great Britain. I don't think you'll be able to compete with a touch today with the caliber of runs that are going down. Now, for the team from Switzerland. And away we go for the team from Switzerland. This team comprised of Paris 2024 Olympian Martin Dugud, closely followed by Galindo Chiarello and Jan Roa. And they're up on this German time. A very smooth, very efficient Swiss team, as you'd expect from a team from Switzerland. With European bronze medalist, I believe, Chiarello from last year in Tatsin, following up the back of this team. And Martin Dugud pulling away at gate 10, giving Jan Roa and Galindo Chiarello some more space to maneuver in the upstream gate 10. This team run has been solid, it's been smooth, and it's clean so far. The symptoms of a good time. 0.84 behind the Germans. If they stay smooth in this bottom section, they could slot into a medal position. Galindo gets his bow high into 18. He sweeps away tight. This could be just behind the Germans, but it could compete with Spain and Great Britain. and 2.15 behind. Switzerland goes into third, pushes Great Britain out into fourth. Spain and Germany remain second and first, respectively. And next we have the Polish team, who finished 4th place at last year's European Championships in Tatsin. This team comprised of Mateusz Polacek, Jakub Brzezinski and Dariusz Popiela. Dariusz Popiela and Mateusz Polacek, two very experienced paddlers. They've been around on the canoe slalom scene for a long time now. Jakub Brzezinski, slightly younger, I think making his senior team debut, pipping Mikhail Pasu at selection just a few weeks ago. So let's see how this team operates together. They've got experience at the front and experience in the back, with Popiela and Polacek. And their first split's very competitive. But a touch on gate 6 there. Touches are going to cost you here. You ain't going to compete with the Germans if you have a 2-second time penalty. And it's actually a 4-second time penalty, meaning 2 of the paddlers touch gate 6. They would be up on raw time if it wasn't for those 2 touches. Just proving a bit costly here. Jakub Brzezinski fighting hard to catch up with Polacek, who's pulled a little bit of a gap ahead, but importantly, Dariusz Popiela at the back is staying very close to Jakub Brzezinski to stop that time as quickly as possible. 5:15 seconds down now. I think those 2 touches just costing them the medal. And there you have it. They would be second by 0.19 if it wasn't for that mistake on gate 6. I believe Brzezinski and Popiela both touching that gate. A real shame for those Polish paddlers after putting down such a good run. And again, as you can hear, the crowd's starting to pick up as the French team line up on the start line. In front here we have Titouan Castries, Olympic silver medalist at this course, World Cup winner also at this course. Double junior world champion, flanked by Anatole Delessus, reigning under-23 world champion and World Cup overall winner, an experienced international paddler and medalist, Benjamin Renier, at the back of this team. It's a strong French team. They're on their home water. They have the home crowd. I think you can expect a challenge against the Germans here. France against Germany for first place. Benjamin Renier looking very smooth at the end here, following the lead of dynamic and fast paddlers Titouan Castries and Anatole Delessus. I believe Benjamin Renier will make up some time here at the bottom section. He's looking very smooth and very relaxed as he'll keep some energy for this bottom section. Titouan Castries leading by example here. Comfortably ahead of his teammate Anatole de la Sousa. Anatole looks like he forgot Benjamin Renier was coming in behind him as he stuck his nose in the air, but they get away with it. And they were up on that split. This is going to be close for France versus Germany. Titouan checked his shoulder before going into the up, and he realized he could pull away. He gives Anatole loads of space, and Titouan now encouraging his teammates as they go towards the finish line. They have 10 seconds to get ahead of the Germans here, but Anatole doesn't create space for Renier, and Renier gets caught up, and that could cost them the gold medal here, but this is going to be tight. And I think that move at the end just cost them the gold medal, 0.84 seconds. Renier didn't have any space to put himself into in the last upstream gate. They're still happy with the run, going into silver medal with a really great performance. But I think that could have been gold. As you see, they're happy nonetheless at the bottom here. Titouan high-fiving Anatole. Very strong trio. Expect to see them all very high up in the standings in the individual event beginning tomorrow. Now, only 2 teams to go. The Germans have a medal. Austria and Czechia can decide if it's gold, silver, or bronze. France, waiting. If one of these teams go behind, they will also have a medal. And Spain crossing their fingers that both these teams go behind and leave them alone in 3rd place. Mario Leitner here at the start of this Austrian team run. I believe silver medalist at the last year's European Championships in Tatzen. Closely followed by the powerful paddler Felix Ochmarts. He's also a European medalist back in 2022 in Liptovsky Mikuláš, followed by Max Steinbrenner, the young paddler. I think he's 15 years old, making his debut into the senior team, so he'll be hoping to be encouraged by a smooth performance from Felix and Mario at the front of his team. As Max pulls himself across the wave, getting a little bit stuck at the end. He needs to pick it up here if he wants to help his team challenge Germany, France and Spain in the 1, 2 and 3 position. And Mario Leitner there, not choosing to pull out, just letting Felix have some space, and Felix letting Max have some space. So Leitner, Ochmarts and Steinbrenner coming down to this bottom section. Mario looking as composed as always, along with Felix. As Mario Max putting down a very mature performance for a young paddler here. Looking very comfortable on the water. And a really nice last move from Steinbrenner there. And the Germans are going to put in a very respectable time. The Austrians are going to put in a very respectable time. Behind Germany, behind France, behind Spain, they go into 9th position. But a solid run and one to be proud of on his senior debut for Max Steinbrenner, being high-fived there by 2-time Olympian Felix Ochmarts. A good experience for the young paddler, and they're clearly happy with how they conducted themselves on the water there. So, 1 team to go. It is that of Czechia. As I mentioned earlier, without Vit Prindiš, former world champion, former world number 1. Instead, they have Jan Barta, who is an incredible paddler in his own right. managed to beat Vitprindis to selection, so that shows you the level that he'll be paddling at. But led at the front by Yuri Priskovic, who's won the European Championships more times than I can count. Two-time world champion, Olympic champion, arguably the greatest of all time. Jakub Krejci, one of the best young paddlers on the scene. Multiple senior medalist now, under 23 world and European champion. This Czech team has a very, very strong chance of taking a medal. And Jan Barta really pushing those lines to stay in touch with the fast Jakub Krejci. As the GOAT, Yuri Priskovic at the front, leading by example. Jakub Krejci right on his tail, but maybe doesn't give enough space to Jan Barta, who comes in and touches gate 6 with his bow. So that's a 2-second time penalty that Jan Barta now will have to catch up on the tail of Jakub Krejci. That 2-second time penalty just reflecting in the split now. 2.13 seconds down, and gate 10 is swinging a lot. I don't think that's the wind. Nice judging there from Sally on the side, showing that everyone's cleaned up through gate 12. Unfortunately, those two touches, though, are going to cost a lot. As you see in the time, 5.53 seconds. This is a fast raw time, as we expected from the team from Czech Republic, but too many touches, costing too much time. So, as we expected when we saw that incredible run from the Germans, it has stood at the top. It has survived 14 other teams challenging it, unable to beat it, and Germany are your European kayak men champions in 2025. Closely followed by France, only 0.84 seconds behind. And then next door to them, Spain in third place. Rounding off this kayak men final in the team event. Switzerland in fourth position, only 0.6 away from Spain, and Great Britain just under a second away from a medal in fifth place. Some tight racing and some exceptional team runs there. All of our top 5 putting down a clean run. Another great team event to kick off these European Championships here in Vaires-sur-Marne. And next to look forward to, we have the women's canoe teams. There you can see our lineup for the women's canoe teams, starting in 3 minutes with the team from Spain, followed by Italy, then Slovakia. I think this is the least number of teams we have competing in an event. Here we only have 8 teams, but all very competitive, well-experienced teams. And I expect this to be a very close race. Rounded off by our reigning European Championships, the team from Czechia. Not the first time I've said that today. The Czechs always putting together strong teams, lots of depth in that country. And also expect a challenge from the French team on their home water. 4th place at the last year's European Championships, the French team, so they'll be looking to improve on that here today, and I have a feeling they will. I'm not sure if you can hear the background noise here, but this young French crowd, mostly comprised of school kids, I believe, singing along to the French World Cup anthem. Enjoy the atmosphere here today. And unfortunately I see another DNS here, this time for the team from Spain at the start of the C1 women category, similar to what we had with the Italians at the start of the kayak women category. Again, I'm unsure why that's happened. As we learned last time, they could make another surprise appearance and decide to show up at the end of the category, like the Italians did. So never say never with the Spanish team, but we know that we will see the first C1 women team coming down the course will be from Italy. And there you see the team from Italy now lining up. I believe, consisting of Elena Borghi, Marta Bertoncelli, and Elena Micozzi. And away we go with this Italian team. Elena Borghi at the front, closely followed by Marta Bertoncelli and Elena Micozzi at the back of the team. Just looked like she's struggling between gate 4 and 5, but keeps it online. And there we see our first split on the top section, 24.34. Marta having a good year so far in the pre-season events that we've had. Hoping to build on that in this team event today. Elena Borghi, a former under-23 world champion in C1 women. So this will be a good run to start us off. And importantly, it's clean so far. And Elena Micozzi is close to Marta Bertoncelli. So these are all symptoms of a good team run. Just as I say that they're going clean, Elena Borghi touches gate 15. Hopefully Marta and Elena Micozzi are able to stay clean on those gates now, which it looks like they are. Elena Micozzi doing a crossbow there to get onto the wave so that she's got this strong stroke up through gate 18. They're putting in a very solid time here. Remember, the kayak women's event was won in just under 100 seconds. These girls here with one less paddle putting in a 107-second time. Not bad at all. 105 on raw time with one less blade. I expect that to be fairly high up come the end of this event. As we saw there, third boat close to the second boat. Only the one touch. It's a decent team run. Next is the team from Slovakia. Interestingly, this is the exact same team as competed in the kayak event just a little while ago. Unfortunately, in the kayak event, they came last. So they'll be hoping to improve on that here. They're definitely capable of it. I believe some of the girls on this team do prefer C1 over kayak. So I'd be expecting a more competitive result here from the Slovakians. And away we go. There is Zuzana Pankova at the start. Emanuela Luknarova, who I believe had some trouble up here in the kayak event, doing a little bit better, unfortunately picking up a touch on gate 2, but the Italian team also had a touch. Oh, there's another touch though on gate 6. If they start adding up, it's going to cost them. I don't think you can get any more than 2 touches and still medal, and it looks like the Slovakians now have 3. They're going to have to do something pretty special to absorb this time. Still staying close together here, the Slovakians. No, I was about to say no more touches showing, but she's touched gate 14 as well. You can see on raw time, they would only be 0.6 seconds behind the Italians. Those touches just such a vital part of team runs. And with 4 of them now, I doubt this is going to end up being a very competitive time. Only 4.49 seconds behind the Italians, which just goes to show without those touches they'd be comfortably in the lead. But that's not what canoe slalom is. Canoe slalom always includes touches, includes it for a reason. And it costs you if you don't stay off those poles. The Germans next. They'll be hoping to put down the first clean run in this women's C1s event. This team here will be unfortunately not containing the Paris 2024 Olympic silver medalist Elena Lilik. I'm unsure why, but she's not competing at these European Championships here. And Kimberly Rapper, the young German, looks like she's taking her place. She's paddling alongside Nelly Bain and former world champion Andrea Herzog. So a mix of experience and youth in this team. They'll be hoping that the balance is correct and works out in their favor in this event here. But that's not proving to be the case on the first two gates as they pick up an early touch. And Nelly Bain just struggling a little bit to get inside gate 5. As Kimberly Rapper just has to wait until she can leave gate 6, as Andrea Herzog was just maneuvering her way out of gate 7. There was no space for Kimberly to go into. So Kimberly now will be working hard to fight that, to close that gap to Nelly Bain. Herzog here just showing her experience, waiting for Nelly Bain, giving her the space in gate 10. And as you see, Kimberly Rapp now able to deliver a solid upstream with the space given to her by her teammates. After the early mistake on gate 2, this is going pretty well for the Germans here. Nelly Bain just having to spin round in gate 16. Remember though, it is Kimberly Rapper that ends the time, so a mistake from Nelly Bain isn't nearly as costly as one would be from Kimberly Rapp. Two touches, however, is not going to be enough to beat the Italians. Yep, those two touches just costing them too much. But it is only 2.57 seconds behind, meaning they are in silver medal position. We've only had 3 teams to go, but it's not a bad gap to the Italians. And it wasn't a bad team run at all from the Germans. Second boat close to the third once again. They'll be in and around it come the end of this event, with only 4 teams now to go. And we have the home nation, France, next. At the start, Olympic silver medalist in kayak cross here at the Summer Olympics. Angèle Hug, competing in the C1 event. And we have Lauren Rosen and Dorian Delassus. We've seen Dorian's brother, Anatole Delassus, pick up a silver medal already today. Dorian will be hoping to carry on the family success today. And I say this, women's C1 team here are definitely one of the favorites on their home water. 3 talented paddlers here. Dorian having a very good start to her season already, and she's showing that in gate 1 and 2 as she's very tight and still close behind Lauren Rosen as the crowd picks up. Oh, a little bit stuck there for Lauren Rosen. She pulls out of the wave from 6 to 7. But it's all about Dorian Delassus here. She's the one who closes the time. And just as I say that, she almost capsizes. I think she saved that, just. But she's got some serious work to do now to close that gap. Lauren Rosen came very close to the pole on gate 10 there. Let's see what the judges say about possible time penalties. But as we see from the judge on the right bank there, they're clean through that section, but there is that touch on gate 10 that I suspected popping up, and now it puts them from 0.79 seconds down to 2.79 seconds down, a gap that is going to be very hard to close with just 3 gates remaining. And another... Oh. Dorian needing a good cross here. Needs to stay close to Lauren Rosen. Unfortunately, not the fastest execution of the upstream, but they're flying to the finish line here. Maybe Italy's split wasn't the fastest at the bottom, and they go just ahead. Wow, just ahead. It looks like into first place. The graphic on the screen isn't showing, but their time is 0.16 seconds ahead. None of our results updating here, but that time is 0.16 faster than the Italian, so I believe that France have gone into the gold medal position. We're still waiting for an update on the penalty scores at gate 18. That could be why the result isn't showing up yet. It looked clean to me though, so I'd be surprised if something was to come up. Okay, and I think it's away we go for the team from Great Britain. Just as we were looking for the results there, missing the start of it, but also missing the start is Great Britain not doing too well at the start of this race. Kimberly Woods, Olympic bronze medalist in kayak, leading this team off. She's got quite the gap behind her to Beth Foro, and Ellis Miller. Ellis just getting a little bit caught up between gate 6 and 7 and picking up a touch on gate 7. They already have a touch on gate 4. That's 4 seconds of penalties now. I think this team from Great Britain are going to really struggle to put themselves in medal positions now. 10 seconds down on the third split. Simply too much of a deficit to recover. Hopefully these girls can now take this run in as experience for their individual events, which are coming tomorrow. They are closing the gap, however. It's only 7.75 seconds now, so looks like they've recovered 3 seconds in that section, which is very impressive. But it's now showing that on gate 4 there was 2 athletes that touched the gate, so it's 4 seconds worth of time penalties on gate 4 now. And as you see there, that time just ticking further and further away from that leading time of France. And 8 seconds is too far away from the lead. Great Britain go into last place, 5th position, with only 2 teams to go. Now we have France still first, but they have an asterisk on the results, which means the video judges are looking at a gate to decide whether maybe it's to take off the 2-second time penalty they currently have, but I think more likely it could be to put a time penalty onto them. Meaning there could be change at the top here, whilst the Slovenian and the Czech team come down the course. This team from Slovenia, silver medalist last year, comprised of Eva Lina Hočevar, Lea Novak and Alia Kozarog. I'm pretty sure that's the exact same team that achieved the silver medal last year at the European Championships. Looking to replicate their success. Not on their home water this year, though. So that does take a bit of an advantage away from them. As they get underway here, Evelina Hocheva leading well, with Leah Novak at the end there delivering well on gates 1 and 2. Only 1 second down on the French team. And as I mentioned about that French team, they were getting a penalty looked at. It's been looked at and been removed now. So that touch that I thought I saw from Lauren Rosen on gate 10, it must have been the wind or a water touch, as the French team have now been given a clear run. So they're 2.16 seconds ahead in the lead. Just gives the Slovenian team a bit of a harder challenge. But they're dealing with that challenge well. As you see, they're 0.14 seconds ahead. Leah Novak there staying really tight around the gate and as close to Alia Kozarog as she can. The 3 Slovenians are close together. They're clean. As we know, this could be a good team run. Eva-Elina Hocheva just spinning around there in gate 15. Same with Alia Kozarog. And Leah Novak managing to do it forward, which is important as Novak is the one that stops the time. All that matters is how close she gets to the finish line now. She looks to kick her bow up, but in doing so, in trying to take a tight line into the last upstream gate, Leah Novak touches it. And I think that's just going to put them behind the French team and the Italian team now. Too far away now for the Slovenians. Those spins at the bottom and that touch on gate 18 pushing them down from potentially being in 3rd place down to 4th now, outside of the medals. Unfortunately not improving or replicating last year. And only one team can challenge France's lead. It's the Czech team. They have 2 experienced paddlers and sisters, Gabriela Sakova and Martina Sakova, in their team, along with the youngster Adriana Moranova, who I believe is making her senior team debut here. She had a very successful selection series just a few weeks ago in Prague, gaining her place on the team here. So I think we can expect a pretty fiery performance from these 3 Czech girls. And away we go, Gabriela Sakova, the Olympian, the Czech Olympian 2024, leading the team off. And Moranova, the youngster at the end there. Just give it a little bit of space to perform. Only 1.72 seconds down. Remember that top section from the French was very fast. Doriane de la Sousse staying very tight on those first 5 downstream gates. So there could be time to be had towards the bottom sections, as Moranova fights through this 2nd section to stay as close to Martina Sakova as she can, as Gabriela Sakova gains a little bit of a gap. 1.79 ahead. As I said, there was time to be had in these middle and bottom sections compared to the French, and the Czechs are finding that time. Gabriela Sakova showing her Olympic pedigree here. Very mature performance out in front, not having to spin that gate 16 like the previous team did. And her sister Martina following her lead, as Adriana Moranova delivers a very nice stagger there. Only 2 gates now between them and a European title, and it looks like they're making good time. It's going to be really tight between them and France. 105 to beat. I think they're going to be ahead by a good few seconds here. And just like that, 2.28 seconds ahead, the team from Czechia, with a new third boat, retain their European title from last year. Adriana Moranova in her first senior event, becoming European champion, along with the two sisters, Gabriela and Martina Sakova. A very strong performance there from the Czechs to upset this French crowd. As you see the results there, France and Czechia leading the table, closely followed by the Italians. That touch just putting their time a little bit further off the French as maybe they'd like, but a bronze medal nonetheless. And that team from Spain didn't follow the lead of the Italians. They didn't turn up late and do their race. Not sure why we had a DNS there, but nevertheless, great performance from the team from Czechia.
Allez Sergio, elles sont prêtes sur le bas du bassin, les filles. On va voir médaille d'argent du jour. Donc c'est pas, elles vont remonter au bassin, jeunes. Et vous allez pouvoir les applaudir, elles veulent prendre la médaille d'argent. Aujourd'hui, ils vont de la plus belle manière pour la Coupe de France. Ces championnats d'Europe avec les épreuves par équipe. Nous allons les applaudir Toriel de la Suisse, Laurent Voisin et Angélique. Allez, on va les accompagner, s'il vous plaît, tout le monde. Elles sont parties de la porte numéro 18. Elles vont remonter tout le bassin devant vous. On va les applaudir, la direction du champion d'Europe à l'instant. Vous avez un jeu avec son c'est qui a été médaillé d'argent pour de Paris, donc c'est le moment de donner la voix.
As you can hear in the background, this home French crowd are getting excited for the men's canoe team's final. And for the women's team run silver medalists, their second silver medal of the day. As you see Angèle Hug, Doriane Delassus and Lauren Rosa waving at the home crowd here and celebrating in front of them. But I'm sure this French crowd is also anticipating the appearance of Nicolas Gestin, who is coming up in the next class, the dominant Olympic champion. Look at this. The French C1 women's team just working this young crowd here. Great to see. Everyone enjoying the moment here in Vaires-sur-Marne. And away we go already with the men's C1 event here. The team from Spain, 2 senior team debutants here, I believe. Diaz and Vicente. I believe I'm saying his name correctly. 2 youngsters. In the middle of them you have experienced C1 athlete Miguel Trave, 2024 Olympian. Multiple senior medalist, very established paddler. Hopefully just giving these 2 younger athletes encouragement. Only 1 touch so far. Oh, as I say that, there's another one. This has been a solid run so far. As you can see, Diaz there, he's close to Miguel Trave, which is a hard thing to do. Miguel Trave is a fast paddler. It's a great performance from Vicente and Diaz on their senior team debuts. Vicente there just floating to the finish line. They've done a good job. They've not managed to stay clean. But the run's been tight. So a 99 in the end, bearing in mind that a 103 is what won the women's event. I don't think it'll stand for too long at number 1, but I suspect it could end up from 7th to 3rd maybe. 3rd on a very lucky day for the Spanish, and maybe more like 6th on a realistic day. But nevertheless, a very good performance from the young paddlers there, Diaz and Vicente. Encouraged by the experience and maturity of Trave. And next, on the start line now, pulling into the start blocks, is the team from Poland. As you can see on your screens, there's the Polish team getting ready now. Comprising of Kasper Stuba, back on the senior team this year. Mikhail Vaires-sur-Marne, sorry if I mispronounced that, and Szymon Nobilski. Szymon Nobilski, in his own words, I think, finally making the senior team after knocking on the door for many years. Excited to finally take this opportunity. Kasper Stuba, a very experienced paddler. He's been around for a while now. Very powerful athlete. Vaires as well. I think he'll also be showing the younger Nobilski, how to do a senior team run. But it doesn't look like he needs taught. This is a great run so far. And as you can see, just slotting in ahead there on that second split time, ahead of the team from Spain. Nobilski very tight into the up left 12. Staying as close as he can to Vaires in front of him. Oh, and a touch from Nobilski there. He'll be frustrated with that. He's on a very good run so far. Kasper Stuba just waiting patiently, giving Vaires space to then give Nobilski some space to paddle up into. Not the tightest upstream there in 18. And I think they'll come in just behind the Spanish here, also due to their touches. A touch-heavy start for both teams here, both having +4. Seven teams to go. So, with +4, I somewhat doubt those 2 runs from Spain and Poland will stay in the first and second positions. But we're seeing some very solid raw times. and solid team run performances so far. The third boat staying close to the second, no major mistakes. As we see Great Britain line up in the start lines. Adam Burgess, Olympic silver medalist here in 2024 at the Summer Olympics in Paris. In Vaires-sur-Marne, he's back again, looking to replicate some of that success. My training partner, Ryan Wesley, flanking him, along with senior team debutant Luke Royal. Luke Royal coming fourth at last year's Under-23 World Championships. He's been at international races before. He knows how to deal with this. He's good at team runs. I think we can expect a good run here from Great Britain. I hear also in training they've had the influence of Darren Spicer on the riverbank sometimes. No doubt that'll help them today. As Adam Burgess pulls through gate 1 and 2. Quickly followed by Luke Royal and the experienced Ryan Wesley there at the end. Ryan picking up a silver medal at last year's World Cup final in Liceo de Urgel. And a European champion in 2023. This is a great team run for Luke Royal to be a part of on his senior European team event debut. As Adam Burgess fights hard to pull away from Luke Royal, just giving him a bit of space. Luke Royal very tight around the pole, closely followed by Ryan Wesley, who very maturely gives Luke some space to pull away from gate 10. Ryan Wesley on his crossbow there, one of the best crossbows in the world, following Luke Royal down. And they're 1.8 seconds up, including a 2-second time penalty. Remember, Spain and Poland had 4 seconds in time penalties. So this is of a similar raw time as Ryan Wesley tries to kick the bow up at the end here. Just allowing some space for Luke Royal. Not a bad run this, at all. It looks like it'll be in the low 90s. And they take the Spanish team for 4.5 seconds. Very, very good run. That's 6 seconds faster on raw time as well, I believe. No, that's wrong. 2 seconds faster on raw time, sorry, than the team from Spain. And the team from Spain were no slouches. That team from Great Britain will put themselves in a very, very good position for a medal with that run. I expect something around 90, 91 is possible, especially from that French team that I mentioned earlier, having Olympic champion Nicolas Gestin. But Great Britain, I think, can keep their fingers crossed for a medal here with a run like that. As in the start blocks, we have the German team. Sideris Tassiadis, former world champion, multiple Olympic medalist, one of the most successful C1 men of all time, followed by Leonard Tuscherera and Timo Trümmer, both experienced athletes. No strangers to international competition. I think you can expect a mature performance here from the Germans. Sideris Tassiadis at the front. He never looks strained. He never looks out of control. Hopefully that sets an example for the rest of the team, but a touch on gate 4 from Leonard Tuscherera. Not the best start. Hopefully he can take some inspiration from Tassiadis at the front and stay composed for the rest of this run. As you can see, Tuscherera there repping hard to keep up with his teammates, close that gap. Only 2.85 seconds behind the British now, who, I need to update you, have had their touch removed by the video judges which means they have now a time of 91.27. As I mentioned before, a 90 or a 91 is what I expected to win. So that Great Britain time will be hard to beat, especially with a touch. And another touch now for that German team. It's just starting to unravel a little bit as this run goes on. Sedaris Stasiadis there giving Timo Trummer a bit of space as Leonard Teixeira looks to fight out of gate 18. And looking to slot into second place, I think, here, the Germans. And they do. Plus 4 seconds in penalties, taking them from 1.76 seconds behind the British to 5.76 seconds behind, which is what they are. It's a big gap for the other teams to jump into between Great Britain and Germany. I doubt that will hold up in second place, but we'll see. They're on the scoreboard ahead of the team from France. As I said, Nicolas Gestin making his return to Vaires-sur-Marne after winning Olympic gold by 5.5 seconds. A local hero. He'll be followed by Johan Seneschal and Merwin Deblicki. Johan Seneschal, an under-23 European champion. Merwin Deblicki, under-23 world champion and senior world championship finalist. France has no lack of depth in C1 men. One of the strongest teams in the world. I think you can expect a very strong performance here. You can sit back and enjoy this one as Merwin Deblicki leads them away. Whoa, an early touch from Merwin Deblicki. That's uncharacteristic. And it looks like he leaves the pole swinging for his teammates. And I think we've got more than one touch incoming on that gate. There's the first touch and there's the second touch on gate 2. So 4 seconds now in penalties for the French. If there is a team that can absorb that much time in penalties, it is this team. As Merwin Deblicki in front there is opening up a really large gap in front of Nicolas Gestin. Those penalties reflecting in the time. Nicolas Gestin looks like he's just turning it up now. He knows that there's a big gap to close to Merwin Deblicki at the front. Johan Seneschal fighting as hard as he can to stay in touch with the Olympic champion. That deficit is closing. They're faster than the British on raw time. Just the penalties putting them away. Johan Seneschal will have done this cross a million times, and he stays fairly high, as close behind Nicolas Gestin as he can. I think they'll jump into that gap created by the Germans, and they do. They jump into that gap between France and Germany and Great Britain. 3.92 seconds behind the British, faster than them on raw time. That double touch on gate 2 though, costing them so much. 4 teams to go to challenge this lead from Great Britain. France hoping to hold on for a medal here, but almost 4 seconds down. I think they'll have to keep their fingers crossed. Lining up now, we have the team from Italy. Raffaello Avaldi, Olympian 2024, followed by Paolo Ceccon and Martino Barzon. Paolo Ceccon, a World Championship medalist at Livali in 2023. Following down his experienced Olympian teammate Raffaello Evaldi, and the young man Martino Barzon. He's a junior world champion. Looking to put in a good run here. They're fast on raw time. Again, a touch costing a lot. And another touch, gate 6 and gate 7. Too much for the Italians here. I think we can comfortably say that this will not challenge the Great Britain lead. But Germany are 5.76 seconds behind Britain in third place. They could be looking to attack that time. But even still, 6.8 seconds behind. I think it's going to be too much for a medal position here, the Italians. And Barzon just getting his bow really close to Raffaello Evaldi, staying close to him at the end. It does close a little bit of a gap here at the finishing sprint, but still 7 seconds behind. Italy go into 5th position. Too many penalties to take a medal today. The only team so far that's gone clean is the team from Great Britain, and they're winning. Again, reflecting the importance of staying clean in this team event. I think if we see another solid clean run from the Slovakian team, the Czech team, or the Slovenian team, we could see a medal winning run. The wind picking up a bit here at Vaires-sur-Marne. Some fences blowing down in the crowd. Some number boards flying around. Poles flying as well. Could explain the amount of touches we've had here. Of course, making it much harder for the athletes to stay clean when these poles are flying at you rather than staying in one place. Anyway, Slovakian team now getting ready to go with arguably the most experienced man in canoe slalom and one of the most successful, Michael Martican. I think 3-time Olympic champion. Incredible paddler. Followed by Matej Benus, Olympic bronze medalist here at Paris 2024, and Marko Migorodski, experienced senior paddler, multiple senior finalist. These Slovakians will be putting down a very strong performance, as you're seeing so far. 1.26 seconds up on that clean run of the British. And it's a nice cross for Migorodski at the back, staying really close to Matej Benus, who's now chasing down the experienced veteran, Michael Martican. This split from the British will give us a good show. 1.44 down, and gate 10 is swinging. Remember, there is wind, so it could be the wind that's made it swing, but looks like it's moving a lot. You can see the judge on the side there signaling clean for everyone at gate 12. But at gate 10, look there. 4 seconds in time penalties at gate 10. They're currently 5.76 seconds behind, which interestingly is the exact amount that the Germans are behind in third place. So they only have to go a little bit faster now to the finish line in order to pip the Germans. And it's going to be a tight race. 97 to beat from the German team, and they go ahead into third place, into bronze medal position. Once again, touches costing a team here today, plus 4 seconds in penalties. Only 2 teams to go. I think Slovakia will be keeping their fingers quite tightly crossed in order to stay in third place now with these two teams that we have to go. France, they only need one more team to go behind to secure a medal, but Great Britain, they have a medal guaranteed. The question is, will it be gold? Now lining up here, you see the Czech team. Possibly not the Czech team that people expected to see at this event. Lukáš Rohan and Václav Chalupka unfortunately missing out on selection, which was a shock to many. But they were beaten by great athletes Wojciech Heger and Adam Kral. Adam being 21 years old, I believe, young athlete. Wojciech Heger, he's an experienced athlete. He's been banging at the door of selection for many years. Certainly deserving of their places on the Czech team here. Following down Yuri Priskovic, who we've already seen in the kayak event earlier today. Doubling up into the C1. Showing his class not only in the kayak but now also in the C1. Picked up in the last year or two. His transition from kayak to C1 though has been incredibly impressive. Now only the one touch for the Czechs. But the time and the touch adding up to a 5-second deficit on their second split. They need to be within 3 to 4 seconds of that British lead in order to finish in a medal position after this run. So they need to improve by about 2 seconds here on these last few gates. Adam Kral needs to stay as tight to Wojciech Heger as he possibly can. He needs to get the bow up nice and high into gate 18 to stay tight on the inside pole, which he does a fairly good job of. Unfortunately, I don't think it will be enough to finish in a medal position. And it isn't, as they fall into fourth place here, I believe. 7th place. The graphic coming up incorrect, apologies there. The Czech team going into 7th position. An interesting update for you here. The French team have been knocked down into 3rd place as the Slovakians have had a touch removed upon video review. So the Slovakians now 3.48 seconds behind the British with just 1 touch. The French with 2 touches, 3.92 seconds behind the British. With only 1 team to go, Slovenia. Arguably the strongest set of 3 in C1 men in the world today. Zigalin Hocevar, junior world champion, senior European champion. One of the most successful young athletes we've seen in many years. With 2020 Olympic champion Benjamin Savsek, also in this team, an experienced paddler, incredibly experienced paddler, as well as Luka Bozic, who was world #1 at the time of the Olympics last year and didn't even get the opportunity to compete. That shows you the depth in C1 men in Slovenia. These 3 work together incredibly well, looking to retain their European title here. Benjamin Savsek there, the experienced paddler, the Olympic champion, leading by example. But Zigalin Hocevar, the reigning European champion, touching gate 2 by the looks of it. Nothing coming up so far. There you go. There's the touch for Zigalin. Putting them now 2.78 seconds behind the British. You're seeing a very solid performance, though, from these 3 Slovenians, as we'd expect. Very close together. Very close on raw time to the British. Remember, 3.92 seconds behind the British is bronze medal from France, is the bronze medal position. Anything above that, and this Slovenian team will have a medal, and they're looking comfortably inside that margin. I don't think this will challenge the lead of Great Britain, but this looks very competitive for a medal here. A touch on gate 15 now, though. Not something that I saw. Maybe wasn't paying enough attention, but this is going to be tight now because of that second touch. And 3.54 just into third place for the Slovenian team. So provisionally, that Slovenian team just pipped the French by 0.38 seconds. Barely a blink of an eye ahead of the French team. The home crowd disappointed again today by their team just getting pipped to the ideal medal. But a great performance from Great Britain there in first place. Something for debutant Luke Royal to be incredibly proud of, becoming European champion on his first race. And Adam Burgess enjoying his return to the Paris 2024 Olympic course where he won silver. Slovakia, that experienced team containing Michal Martikan, picking up that silver medal. And as you saw there, that Slovenian team filled with successful paddlers picking up the bronze medal today. We'll stay with you here until the results go official. But just to recap all the results so far today. At the start, we saw the women's kayak, where Czechia took gold medal, followed by Spain in second and Great Britain in third. After that, we saw the kayak men come down. A great performance from Germany, saw them win gold. France taking the silver medal, followed by Spain in that men's kayak event. In the C1 women, Czechia once again becoming European champions, tightly followed by France and then Italy in third. And just now, we've seen Great Britain take gold medal and become European champions, with a big gap to Slovakia in silver medal position and Slovenia in bronze. As I say, barring any late changes, those are the official results from today's team event. Thank you for joining us here in Vaires-sur-Marne. Tomorrow morning, starting at 9:30 European time, we can look forward to some women's kayak heats, with the event running all through the morning, followed by men's kayak, women's canoe, and then men's canoe, the same start order as we've had today. So we'll see you all tomorrow for the beginning of the individual race here at the ECA European Championships in Vaires-sur-Marne. Thank you.
va saluer tous les scolaires qui sont venus nous voir. Merci les jeunes.